Erik Paulson here in the London Heathrow Airport, waiting to go on to Edinburgh, Scotland, to create my 12 seminar tour and be back in America on the 22nd.
No.
How was your trip on the airplane?
I slept the whole time.
Actually, it didn't.
Snuggled.
You were watching movies.
Movies. Yes, lots of movies. It was good. Fun. And I was actually cozy. Stop filming. Coming soon.
Edinburgh, Scotland, first day. Just got in, just woke up. You can hear the kettle brewing. I've got some kettle water, hot water brewing in the kettle for some tea and some coffee. Getting ready to go downstairs and have some breakfast. What else? Gonna see Rick Young today. Got a big seminar lined up. Hopefully planning on having at least 50 people there today. It's a really good turnout. I haven't been here for about a year and a half. Rick is one of my dearest friends here in Great Britain. I've known him for over 20 years. He has a beautiful family with a wife and 2 kids. And we've been training partners for years, and I'm looking forward to seeing him today. I'll introduce you in a little bit. Here we are back in Edinburgh, Scotland again, day 1. We have a seminar this evening, and we're here at Rick Young's. Rick and I have been friends for probably about 52 years now. We met back in 1946 after World War I, and now we're back here seeing him and his family again. Rick, tell us what it's like to train and have a good time.
It's great. It's great having you here, Erik. You're the best. We had a great time. I've had a seminar. It's been really good, and Erik gave a fantastic seminar, and everybody is really happy. We had a great time.
Rick, tell them about some of the excursions that we've had here, that I've had with you.
But you got in a fight with the guy in a bar. And
that's old news. That's old news. That's neither here nor there. He started it.
Erik came here. Erik did his first British seminar here, I think, in 1992.
That's true.
He had come over with Seafood Hartzell at the time.
Yeah.
And
came over with Larry Hartzell.
And he came over, and then he gave the first seminar, and I think you were about to fight Shuto in Japan, or you just fought, one of the two. And so you give your first seminar here. It was great. And then since '92, you've been coming over, if not every year, probably just about every year.
Would you say that you really hated the Shuto stuff at first, as compared to the judo and the jiu-jitsu?
I love the Shuto stuff. The way you did it, Erik, I thought it was great. But I could never get at the speed that you got it, because Erik is the fastest learner in the world. And the stuff you showed last night, I'm still trying to get in my head. No, it's true. I'm telling you, man, the up under, you know. So I'm still trying to get that. And you have a photographic memory. You pick everything up, you remember it, and you can do it. And I have a really slow learning curve. So at the time, I was doing judo, because there's world-class judo players here.
This is the seminar. This is the seminar right here. You can't really read it, but
there you go.
This is kind of what we did yesterday.
That's great.
In an hour and a half. Rick, here you go.
Thank you very much. And so you pick up really quick. So at the time, because I'm a slow learner, and because the judo was here and it was world class, I started training judo. And it's difficult for me to take more than one technique in a year. So
please. So Rick is known as the Bullocks of Britain. If there's a problem that has anything to do with JKD, Collie, Dan Asano, or the Young clan family, he will step up in 2 seconds and take care of business.
So, but the thing is that you were so far advanced there, and when I came to America, every time I came to the States, Erik would be jumping ahead in leaps and bounds. So every time I saw him from 92, no, not even 92, from 89, 86, 87, whenever we met, Erik would be jumping ahead. So every time I'd see him, every 6 months or a year, he'd be Like
I was trying to-
it'd be going exponentially forward, where I would be going step by step.
I was trying to play catch up with Rick.
Eric was going exponentially forward. If he was playing catch up with me, we'd have gone exponentially backwards.
I was playing catch up with Rick because he was with the world-class judo team here, and I was just trying to catch up to him.
But my judo was terrible, but the judo team here are fantastic.
About some of his teachers here and about the level of judo here in Europe. Okay, Rick, tell us a little bit about the level of judo in Europe as compared to, let's say, America, for instance. Don't sugarcoat it.
European judo's superb. In France alone, you have more people practice judo than the whole of Japan.
Sorry.
So in France, they have I think 1.5 million people practice judo. In Japan, there's not that many. So it's going from Japan, and that's just in France. Then you have the Russian states. Then you have in Britain. There's a strong judo background. The Budokai started over 100 years ago.
And that's here in London?
Yeah, that's in London. Yeah, the Budokai. Then you have they had the Edinburgh Club here with guys like the guys I trained with, like Billy Cusack and Mark Preston and Graham Randall, George Kerr, who's a 9th dan in judo.
Tell a little bit about some of the guys that have come from all over the world and said something about the judo here.
What George did, because he had a lot of ties with Japan, people like Yasuhiro Yamashita, Peter Seisenbacher, Hidetoshi Nakanishi, Nobuyuki Sato, all the top names in Japan would come here. And usually what they would do if they had somebody like a student over there, somebody that was a champion and wanted to be a student, they would send them to Edinburgh so you could do studies here and still do judo at a high level, but also there would be a lot of interaction going on. So we had Yukimasai Nakamura, and he was a world and Olympic champion, 66 kilos, phenomenal player. And he came over and he helped the guys, but the guys also helped him. And so there was an exchange going on. And so the European judo is really strong, different from Japanese classical judo. The European judo has a lot of Russian influence now because of the belt gripping, the overhand, the taking the back grip. Whereas the classical judo is more collar, sleeve lapel type judo, which is beautiful. And now it's kind of like a mixture going on. Some people are going back to the classical judo, and some people are still using the kind of sambo type grips and so forth.
And they're implementing a lot of the wrestling too now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
like the Georgians.
Yeah, the Georgians are a nightmare, especially the lighter weights. They get under you. They're doing a lot of kataguruma, fireman carry, pickups.
What about the Cubans?
The Cubans are like that too. The Cubans have a different sort of influence, but they'll train because they're state sponsored, and they really do train. Where a lot of teams don't train as a team. They really train, live together as a team. Even in the top tournaments, they'll be sleeping on. They used to sleep on the floor, and they would be given oranges, you know. So where a lot of other teams would be going out and doing stuff. Even if they'd won an Olympic medal, they were still treated like just one member of the team.
Wow.
And there's a phenomenal, especially the ladies in the Cuban. They have a great coach. He's been their coach for about 20 years now, and he's a phenomenal coach for the ladies. And I mean, they're always taking medals in the world and Olympic stage. So the Cubans are just excellent, train really hard. And the guy you were talking about the other day there,
Hector Lombard.
Yeah, superb. You know, very, very, very good.
Here we are driving at, what is this called here?
This is the Queen's Park.
Now look at the swans on the right. Up here you have the Abbey, which is an old, what is that, a church? Old building up here, if you could get that. Look at that church, beautiful swans here. Look at that look how beautiful that is. You couldn't even, Tanya, you could take a picture of that. There's a button on top of it, just hit the picture. Zoom in on it a little. That is beautiful. God's country. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. Being from Minnesota, I can really admire this type of setting, and I love the outdoors.